Welcome to this Rise of Ronin video. I'm so excited because this is a big time one for me personally. Excited, and I just feel you are going to be excited if you love this game as well. We're gonna have some really deep breakdowns on some things, some spoilers later on, and the future of the game when it comes to the content. That's what this whole video is about, and we're getting into it. So if you guys didn't watch one of my previous videos for Rise of the Ronin, I talked about the new content that they put into the game. There were some weapons, some new missions, and a lot more for free, just a simple update. And this is great news for this game because it's going to be getting support. And to me, that was just a start. And the reason I want to start off with that is because we've watched and witnessed Neo and Wulong both get good treatment with DLCs and more content throughout its lifespan. And this game right here, to me, is doing the same, folks. I'm so excited about that. I cannot wait to get into this and talk a little bit more in depth. I've prepared a few things very interesting, but I'm absolutely excited. On top of that, they did put out an article when they made this talking about two characters who actually are crossovers. This is very cool stuff, where you have the Ninja Gaiden ancestor as a character who's your partner, your ally. You can take on missions with you and all of the good stuff. Then there's a hidden boss who happens to also be a crossover from another game you love called Neo. So you get Ninja Gaiden and Neo crossovers in this game already that existed, and it is special for them to be able to provide that within the game. Shout out to Team Ninja taking the time to add some depth to this game and do some special things that I'm super excited about. And now we're going to get into some of the talk and conversations about what I personally would be excited for. I showcase and talk to you guys about what the game can be in the future. And we had a discussion about some future things, but I've mainly kept it on the simple online aspect stuff. But I want to get into a couple of possibilities. As you can see here, there's timelines, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. And you're able to go back and forth to any of these and basically play every story mission thoroughly, as you can see. And you can actually change the plot and do a bunch of great things, which is super cool. You can also go in here and do buddy missions, aka bond missions. You can pretty much do every character. Or you can go into the open world and do all of the cool stuff that you see here. Topping that off, you have the ally missions, which are the very hardcore extreme challenges within the game. And this, to me, they can add any of this type of stuff to this game. And one of the two things that I want to kind of hint at and put out there is Team Ninja's ancestor character being able to be a playable character, or possibly having him as a story companion in a big story plot, basically discussing him and showcasing him. That's something that you guys can think about. You can agree to disagree, but it's definitely something that would be exciting for someone like myself. I would love it personally. That's just me though. And of course, the other boss hidden character, they can be something along the lines with him as well in here. Okay. Now that is the non-spoiler conversation. The rest of this video will have some spoilers, and I hope you guys don't mind. For those who love this series like I do, we're going to dive into it and go down the rabbit hole and start breaking down what this game has to offer overall for you guys. So lock in, super exciting as we continue to give you what you need. All right, here we go. So the big spoiler, now that all those that didn't want to get spoiled is gone, guess what? In the end of this game, you end up fighting your twin and course, you can kill them, or you can do what the general game will allow, which is let them live. Then you end up seeing them in New York City. Okay, and we're gonna pause right there, and I'm gonna let you guess what I'm about to say next. How incredible would it be for them to bring us to New York City and to be playing as the twin that we created? Because remember, we didn't get a lot of play time with them. They weren't our main character. We just had them as enemies basically throughout the game. And it would be spectacular if they would allow us to get a full expansion for that. All right, so we're gonna dive into it right now. Before we get into it, I just want to showcase this. So you just think about it, there's 3 maps in the game, and I absolutely enjoyed going in there, beating the fugitives and doing all that good stuff. But just imagine there's a 4th one, and it happens to be New York City. And if they really want to get crazy, they could make it an actual area like Manhattan, you know, and go in there. And what's cool that I want to kind of really dive into right now with you guys, I took the time and looked up information about New York City around that time period. Okay, during that time period, there was the Civil War, which was happening with the Union and the Confederacy. They were going at it in New York and in general in America. There's a lot of political issues with the slavery, and also a lot of immigrants coming to America, causing a lot of turmoil. There was riots and so much more happening during these times. And you're watching New York City during those times in 4K, by the way. Really did my homework on this. And so for me, it is exactly the most perfect time to set up what could be an incredible storyline with your twin blade that you created and probably spent 30 minutes on making that one character like I did. And this to me would be the most spectacular way for them to say, hey, we got DLC. This isn't just some quick little mission that we're going to throw in there. We're actually going to bring you deep into this game and take you down the rabbit hole of the experience. And personally, I think this is the most spectacular. And by the way, I'm a New Yorker, so that's really cool. And I've never got to see this footage until today, where I did my homework trying to get footage to showcase of what that time period looked like. And it's kind of like Japan, but it's a little more city-ish, if you want to say. But Japan has similar stuff as well. And in that time, all the turmoil that was going on, you would end up being possibly the foreigner from Japan coming over and trying to stop all the nonsense, making you rise of the Ronin, aka you're rising in New York City. And I think that would be possibly one of the most spectacular DLCs we got from this company, Team Ninja, who's made amazing games in my opinion. And this could be one of those spectacular games. Right now, this is just the preview of what I believe should come. Again, take this with a grain of salt. There's no guarantees that this is actually even thought of at all. But the fact that they put it into the end of the actual game, guys, I mean, we should at least entertain it. And feel free to throw your thoughts in the comments. How would you feel about a New York City expansion? Not just one mission, but an expansion map area that you can explore. You can beat a bunch of fugitives, get new combat attacks, new weapon types, new enemy types, new boss fights, new storyline, all for you. I think this could be very good. It could be very special. And I think it would work for all of us as we continue to see how this all plays out. It's a question more so than official confirmation, but I did want to entertain the conversation because you guys know me. This game to me is my favorite of the year, and I got a lot of hope from that DLC, that quick update that they put out with all that new content that's in the game. And I thought it was cool. Said, hey, they can actually do these little small quick fixes here and there and then come out with a big expansion at the end of the year, sometime maybe November or something like that. That's just my thoughts. Why would they display your twin blade in New York City? That's the question, right? And that's that. Again, the time period is very, very heavy duty turmoil and a lot going on. So it could be very cool, in my opinion, if you are into that stuff, right? And personally, I think it would be great. And now I want to kind of sidetrack because I have talked about like PvP, and I don't think they're going to do it. And I don't mind them not doing it. I know I'm competitive and I love martial arts games when they're online, PvP. But I'm so happy if they do our expansion that I'm talking about here. And then they give you another story that you can run through and also use the very cool Testimony of Souls system to run through that story and experience more from your twin blades side of the story as they go over to New York to hopefully be the heroes, right? And not the villains of the story. And maybe you'll come back and try to stop them or something. That would be a little bit outrageous, but that would be cool too, to have you there as a companion, maybe your second character. I mean, that would be something I would like personally, and just have them going back and forth as your companion, helping you throughout the missions, just the way you've had those in the game. So that's the thing. Now we're talking about weapons and different things that the game should have. We talked about all the stuff that Neo has or Wulong in recent games. I do believe that if the DLCs come out like I'm saying, you're going to get a bunch of those type of weapons in this game. And we've already seen such cool combat. I can get very excited about that. And of course, Americans had a lot of firearms, so there'll be new firearms as well, and things that you might want to get into with that. Personally, I think it would be very cool. That's something I love. I'm excited about. There's plenty, and I mean plenty of other aspects to this game that they can add from the co-op and other various good designs that we might all love and enjoy from there. But feel free to talk to me and tell me, what do you think about an expansion for New York City? What type of weapons you want to see for this DLC, and so much more. Again, there's no official word on when or if this is coming out, but from everything we've seen them updating the game consistently, I do believe that we'll get something. It's a very successful game. It's doing really good, and I'm excited to see the future. Share your thoughts and comments. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know what to do. The new video should be popping up on screen. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and we can keep it going. Share this with some friends as well on social media to get this out there. All right, y'all, be safe. Peace.